Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Star Agent Starco Gaming here, back with another Marvel Future Fight video. Guys, in this video we're gonna take a look at the new Iron Man uniform you can actually get for free by clearing story mode, Avengers 3099, and we're gonna see if this uniform can actually perform in World Boss Ultimate and how does it perform next to the previous uniform available on Iron Man, the endgame uniform. But before we get into that, guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Make sure to enable the bell next to the subscribe button to get notified when we post a new video, go live with the live stream. We stream every Friday and Saturday night at 7 p.m. at Pacific time, and we do have crystal giveaway in every single stream. Also, if you want to play Marvel Future Fight on PC, make sure to check the description down below and click on the link next to play Marvel Future Fight on PC. So the first thing we're going to do here, guys, is that we're going to take a look at the Iron Man uniform, well, the stats and everything to build, and then we're going to jump into the gameplay with this uniform. Then after we do that, we're gonna go with the endgame uniform to actually compare both of them against Cool 60 with the same exact team. That's the objective, obviously. So let's go with the stats here. We have max cooldown, max ignore defense, max critical damage. We have max critical rate because you get 25% from the 5th skill, so you only need 50%. Attack speed is 124.50%. We have 35,874 energy attack, which is a pretty decent in my opinion. Anyway, so those are the stats. If we look at the Euro here, we have 2 energy attack per gear, 2 critical rate per gear, and then we have a total of 3 attack speed and 1 ignore dodge. If we look at the ESO set, we have a overdrive set bonus stage 10 in effect, which we get 8.5% of all attack, all defense, critical rate, critical damage, 8.1% ignore defense, activation rate, 12% chance when attacking, plus 30% increase of all attack for 20 seconds with a cooldown time of 56 seconds. If we look at the custom gear, we're running with the normal custom gear, so it's really to give us this video to give us a good idea of what Iron Man can actually do with a normal build. Yeah, the stats are pretty decent, but the custom gear even it out pretty much. So 35.3% critical damage, 180% damage proc. Obviously, if you have a CTPF energy or CTPF rate, you will be doing much better than we're going to be doing in this video, obviously. Uniform, we have the uniform to Heroic with the first 3 bonus uniforms. So we got attack speed, energy attack, and attack speed on it. You can see here. First bonus option, well, bonus uniform is Spider-Man Infinity War. Second one is Psylocke Disassemble. Third one is Mysterio Far From Home. The fourth one is a Rocket Raccoon Endgame. I don't have any XP chips to actually get it higher, sadly, so I cannot see the 5th one, but if anybody wants to state it in the comment section, guys, feel free to do it. Uniform effect we have on this uniform is create a shield equal to 25% max HP. Shield refreshes by 10% every 1 second, which is actually pretty useless in the World Boss Ultimate, to be honest. Absorb 30% of the normal shield activation rate when it applied to self. Super armor. The super armor is actually nice, but it doesn't last long. It lasts for 1 second with a cooldown time of 3 seconds. Then we have 5 skill changes, guys. So every single skill is changed because now Iron Man pretty much fight with energy blades mostly. So it's a little bit different, which is actually nice. Also, one thing people are gonna think, hey, he's slashing with blades, easy physical attack with his skill. No, every single skills are considered energy attack because those blades are energy blade. They produce energy attacks. So no, nothing in his skill set does any physical attack damage. So if we look at the skills here, we got the first skill is nothing crazy, just a regular smash attack. Second skill is a full iframe skill, which is actually quite useful for the survivability against Ghoul. Third skill is a channeling ability that gives you guards against 6 hits, which is actually pretty nice. Does quite a good amount of damage. You can get defense down sync with that skill. Fourth skill is a full iframe again, and I do believe is the highest damaging skill, direct damage, you know, raw damage off the bat. And then you get a fifth skill. Fifth skill is going to give you a buff immunity to all damage for 3 seconds, increase all attack by 25%, speed by 1%, critical rate by 25%. Also, it is the biggest AoE damage on this characters. Like if you're fighting shallow land or stuff like that, this fifth skill is going to be amazing because it's going to put torpedoes on the ground, and then they do initial damage while you put them, and then after that, after a few seconds, they explode, and you can actually cancel that skill right away if you want to. Like you can do 5 cancel into the fourth skill. You can get lucky and get your proc on fourth skill sometimes, and then you let the iframe goes all the way. Then you do the second skills, you let the iframe goes all the way. You use your third skill, you got your guards against hit, so you're safe, and then you just repeat that rotation. It's hard to keep the proc sync on a specific skill though, so if you don't have a CTPF rage, I will not really worry about that uniform to actually get that proc sync, to be honest. You just hope to get a good defense down on one of those skills with a proc on either the fifth skill, fourth skill, or third skill. They all do pretty decent damage, and now if you have a CTPF rate, that's even better. You're gonna do a lot more damage, obviously. So that's pretty much how this uniform works. It is a solid uniform. You know, it's not gonna be a meta uniform, and game uniform is gonna be stronger, as you're gonna see as we do the comparison here, but this is still a pretty solid uniform. For people who do not have the endgame uniform, this uniform is not that far behind, and actually makes it like you don't really need that endgame uniform if you already got this, unless you're trying to really push Iron Man to the limit, like trying to push World Boss Ultimate 10s 50 plus or stuff like that. You know, you're gonna want the best build for this guy, but for normal people, pretty much just use this guy in World Boss Ultimate around 50 or Shadowland or Alien Conquest. This uniform is just good enough for this fella. So what we're gonna do next is we're gonna jump in World Boss Ultimate. No pre-recording yet today, guys. We're just going raw here with the same team. We're gonna do comparison pretty good, so I can actually explain the comparison a little bit more. So the team we're gonna use is pretty simple. We're gonna use Wasp lead because he does need the survivability. He really does, because the bleed, he does not have any healing in that 3099 uniform. So if he gets bleed, he gets snare, or he gets time freeze, he's pretty much dead meat. So you really need to bring that one in, and then we're gonna go Coulson as a support. For the strikers, you're gonna go number 1 Weapon X, number 2 Deadpool, number 3 Negasonics, number 4 we go with Rachel Summers, and number 5 we go with Scarlet Witch. This is my to-go striker setup. A lot of people are gonna argue about this not the good strikers. Well, my rank is number 14 in the world. Uncle Obsidian says the opposite. So here it's gonna be pretty simple, guys. The objective is to stay alive and not get damaged. So we want to stay in iframe as much as possible to make sure that we have our invincibility or immune to all damage and guards us up when we need it. And if we get it, we're pretty much dead meat. If we don't get the debuff removal, the bleed hit us, and it's pretty much eat 80% of our HP, we are pretty much dead meat. So it's really dangerous to fight here, but I was able to bring it to the end in one of the runs, so it's not that bad. You can see when defense not pop, we still get pretty decent damage. So I don't really worry about the damage. Here we're gonna go with tier 3 skill with the third skill. You can see the damage is not bad for a stage 60. It could be better. It could be safer. We actually had more survivability on that uniform, definitely, but it is fine. We got snare here. Damn fat bastard. You can see the damage is pretty decent. It's not as good as the endgame uniform, obviously, but in my opinion, it is still good enough. You get some very, very good spike of damage, and that does a really good amount of damage when it happens. And it allows you to actually be able to get this shit done. So basically what we're gonna do here is we're gonna bring the bus down to, well, we're gonna go down the timer to about 2:30. Then we're gonna switch to the endgame uniform, and we're gonna compare how far we were with both timers. Actually a bad run. I was doing much better than that when I was off recording earlier. But we just saw a pretty solid spike here in damage. Was actually pretty nice. And we did take some damage so far, so it is not fully optimal run. There we go. Not bad, not bad. Obviously, there's going to be a huge difference when we actually bring the other uniform. But you can see, if you get a good run here, we could definitely do this with this uniform at stage 60 without survivability. So definitely, it's pretty solid in my opinion. Because the objective usually is to reach the transition phase with about 2 minutes 30 left, which we are exactly at the point of the transition phase here. So that's definitely would have been a kill, and we're using Was as a lead. Now if we had more survivability, or if we could actually use anti-venom as a striker instead of one of our strikers we're currently using, and we actually bring, for example, Nick Fury lead, well, we could do that way faster. Probably could do the full clear here on stage 60 in about 3 minutes. Yeah, in about 3 minutes. So that will be very good. It's good for a free totally free uniform in my opinion. For most people with a normal build, you can see I have a normal obelisk. Most people will be able to do up to stage 50. You know, people who have their raid level around 300, my guess, will be able to do around stage 60 cool, 50 cool, which is actually pretty solid for you know, for people trying to progress in the game, in my opinion. Next, we're gonna switch the uniform, guys. So we're gonna go with the endgame uniform. I don't like the look of the team suit. We're gonna take a quick look at the bonus option here. We have less bonus option on this uniform. We have energy attack and attack speed, less amount than damned. So we do have more all attack. Obviously, we have like 7% more all attack, which give us a little boost, but it's pretty much even things out. So in terms of power, both uniform are about the same level. You can see the energy attack is pretty close to what it was on the other uniform. So we're gonna jump back into Wall Boss. And obviously the key point with that uniform is that you have survivability with it. So if we really wanted it, we could actually literally go with Nick Fury, Iron Man, Coulson, and the same strikers don't need anti-venom, and actually push stage 70 with that uniform. So this uniform is definitely better. Let not downgrade that uniform. It's a very solid uniform if you have him at tier 3, but do you really need it? That's the question. If you don't have it yet, you probably don't want to spend the crystal on it, so the other uniform actually quite do the job. But we're going to do the comparison here with the exact same team, guys. Exact same setup. But a lot of people were complaining about the 3099 uniform having no survivability, but you got so much iframe on it that you saw. We ran cool obsidian for 2 minutes 30 without dying. So, and you can actually do a full 5 minutes with a good run without dying. So survivability is not an issue if you actually know how to time your iframe, time your defensive skills, and all of that together definitely, and with the debuff removal, obviously debuff removal is actually the key. So here we're gonna go with the in-game uniform, and we're gonna see if we kick ass. We're gonna see. And the nice thing with that uniform is that we got heal. We got heal at the end of the fourth skill, and that is a game changer. You can see there is a lot more damage. Definitely a lot more damage. That is not even a question. So yes, if you want to have the best uniform, this guy, you will go with that uniform, because you can do cool 70 without too much problems with that uniform. So definitely this uniform is much better. We're not gonna lie about that, guys. We are not gonna lie about that. Oh, tier 3 with the proc, that's not optimal. That's fine though. So we're gonna try to push down to 2 minute 30. Might cancel it if we kill him too fast, because I don't want to get a kill on the low level like that. I'm working on stage 89, so definitely don't want to have a kill on such a low level. Damn, that proc was shitty here. Happened like 2 seconds too late. That was terrible. You can see, yeah, this uniform is much better, guys. And that was never open to discussion. That was always the case. This uniform was always, in my opinion, better. I've been stating it since the early access. The difference is, it's not that big though. Okay, we're gonna stop that there. Well, the difference is big, but not that big at the same time, because for somebody who only own one of the Iron Man uniform, for somebody that does not have Iron Man to tier 3, both uniform will pretty much accomplish the same thing in the game. But again, if you're trying to get the max out of Iron Man, definitely this in-game uniform is what you need. But the 3099 pretty much stand between Infinity War and Endgame, so it's definitely not a bad uniform, especially for new players who get Iron Man to tier 2 right off the bat with completing the story mission, and they get that uniform. That really increase their quality of life in Marvel Future Fight right at the start. So definitely it is a solid uniform for free to play. And obviously, in conclusion, guys, if you do have the in-game uniform, or if you want to get the maximum out of your Iron Man, well, the only option is to go with the endgame uniform. Anyway, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Again, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Make sure to drop a like on this video if you enjoy the content. If you have any question, feedback, anything to say, guys, there's a comment section down below. You write what you gotta write, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. So again, guys, thank you for watching this video, and I will see you next time.